Good morning, children. Students, today we will be discussing about the structure of heart. Okay? Now see children, we all know that the heart is present on little bit of left side of our chest, and the size of the heart is as the size of your fist. Okay? And it is little bit tilted. Okay, the heart is not straight, the heart is little bit tilted, and that's why we feel that the heart has been shifted towards the little bit of left side. Okay, so it is, where is the location? It is from the center towards the left side of the body. Okay, now see the structure of the heart. The outermost layer of the heart, that is the covering of the heart, is called as pericardium, and inner to this is known as myocardium. Okay, so whatever will be the inner side, that is called as the myocardium. Okay, and in between this there is a liquid fluid that is called as the pericardial fluid. So whatever liquid is present, that will be pericardial fluid. Now children, we can divide our heart in 4 different chambers. So before 4 different chambers, we can see that our heart can be divided into 2. One is the right side of the heart, and this one will be the left part. Okay, so right side and left side, and this 2 is divided by this septum. Okay, so commonly it is called as septum. Okay, then our heart is divided into 2 more chambers, and that's why altogether there are 4 chambers, and that's why we can call it as we have 4 chambered heart. In one heart there are 4 chambers. Now upside is called as auricle, or it is also called as atrium. This is again auricle or atrium, and this side is called as ventricle because it is the downside. So this is also the ventricle. Okay, now right side is divided by a septum from the left side. So between the right and the left there is one line, and this line is called as the septum. Now see children, on the right side, if it is divided by the septum, then that septum is called as interauricular septum. So this septum which divides your auricle, this septum is called as interauricular septum, because this is the division of the auricles. So interauricular septum, and the septum from here till here, this is named as interventricular septum. Okay, so this much is interauricular septum because it is dividing the auricles, and this side it is interventricular septum because it is dividing this side. Now interventricular septum is shifted oblique. It is not straight, it is little bit oblique. Okay, and because of this oblique, left ventricle is little bit larger than the right ventricle. Why it is so? Because this ventral is shifted towards this side. So I am shifting it till here, okay, so that you should not get any confusion. Now see, now you can see this side is little bit larger than the right side because this septum is obliquely placed at the right side. So this is our division. Now one more important thing, children. The septum is thin from the top and it is thick at the base. You can see I have drawn a thin, like I can make it more thin like this, and then it has become thick from the bottom side. Why it is so? Because the blood enters into the heart with the pressure and it reaches to the ventricle. So, ventricle has to hold the blood with a lot of pressure, and that's why these walls at the base are thicker and this division is also thicker. So, this interventricular septum is thick and the base of the heart, you can see this I have drawn as a thick wall. So, base of the heart is also a thick wall so that it can uphold the pressure. Clear? So, children, now see, we have discussed about 4 or 5 points. Number 1, this is the structure of the heart. It is divided by the septum. Above septum is called as the interauricular septum and downside it is called as the interventricular septum. After this, this is your auricle, this is your auricle, okay? Right side, right ventricle, left ventricle. Till here we have completed. Then, our heart also contains some important walls, okay, as well as some important arteries and veins. Now see, this is called as first vein and it is named as superior vena cava, okay, because it is upside, and here it is called as inferior vena cava. Now see, children, what is the function of this veins? This superior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from the brain because it is upside. So, if this is our heart, then upside there will be superior vena cava and this superior vena cava will bring the deoxygenated blood from the brain. So, from the brain, face and everything, the upper side deoxygenated blood moves in, and from the whole body the deoxygenated blood will come through the inferior vena cava. Clear? So this is the 2 important thing. Then here the deoxygenated blood will come. Now we have 2 more things. This is called as, this long tube is called as the pulmonary artery, okay, and this pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood, okay, and it, with the help of pulmonary artery, the deoxygenated blood will reach to the lungs for purification. Okay, so this side all the blood vessels are clear. Now come to this side and see what I have drawn. I have drawn this, okay, and this. Now this is the largest artery and it is called as aorta, and it carries the oxygenated blood to the different body part, okay, and this is called as, children, pulmonary vein and it carries oxygenated blood. Now children, I just wanted to tell you that near the organ, the arteries and the veins, they do the opposite function. Okay, near the organ, that is near the heart, we have pulmonary artery. Although the arteries, they carry the oxygenated blood, but near the heart, pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood and veins carry deoxygenated blood. But in the heart, the pulmonary vein will carry the oxygenated blood. Okay. So this is the labeling only. After this labeling, we will see the function again. Now, this auricle and ventricle, it is separated by some cuspid's valve. Okay. And this is called as, now you can see, it is tricuspid. So what we can say that? Because three valves are joined together and then they form one valve, and that's why this is called as tricuspid. And here I have drawn two, so this is called as bicuspid valve. Okay, and this tricuspid and bicuspid. Now bicuspids are also called as the mitral valve. Okay, so mitral valve. So on the left side there is a mitral. Then children, one more valve is visible. Okay, I am erasing this just to avoid the confusion. I am erasing this hole. There should not be any confusion for you. Okay, now these two valves, they regulate the backflow of the blood, and these are called as semi-lunar valve. They are half moon shaped structure, so they are called as the semi-lunar valve. Okay, so all the valves I have completed, and this whole is the structure of the heart. Clear? Now see once again children. Divided by septum, okay, covered by the pericardium, myocardium, and the liquid that is called as the pericardial fluid is flowing. The functions that we will see afterwards. After that, we have seen that it can be divided into 4 chambers. The upper chambers are called as the auricle. The right side will be treated as the right auricle. Left side will be treated as the left auricle. Downside is called as the ventricle, right ventricle, left ventricle, and so on. Now these two auricle and ventricles, they are separated with the help of the cuspids. Okay. So if 3 cuspids are there, tricuspid. If 2 cuspid is there, it is called as the bicuspid, and it is also called as the mitral valve. Now, these two, pulmonary artery as well as the aorta, they are separated from ventricular and auricular so that there should not be any backflow of the blood, and that can be controlled with the help of semilunar valve. Okay, now we will see some blood vessels. Now here it is superior vena cava, which brings the deoxygenated blood from the head region. Inferior vena cava, which brings the blood from whole body. Pulmonary vein, which brings the oxygenated blood. So this is the structure. Okay. Now, for your sake of simplicity, so that you all can understand it well, I have drawn only one. But actually, children, there are 2 pulmonary artery. 2. Like this. One goes to the one lung and another will go to the next lung. Okay, so the structure is not so simple as you are thinking, but actually it is very difficult. Like here you will see that there is one more lung and it will go in this lung, then it will come through the pulmonary artery, and aorta will be divided into the different parts. One will go to the head region, another will again come to the whole body. Clear? So in this way, this will also be divided, this is also divided, and this is the structure of the heart. Now children, in the next part, we will see the function of the heart. Okay, till then you try to draw it and revise it. Thank you children.